Continuing our coverage on Godzilla X Kong Supernova. That's such a bad title. Let's call it Godzilla X Kong 3. There is so much more going on in this movie than just, is it Space Godzilla? Is it not Space Godzilla? We could have the most kaiju, one of the most titans we've ever had. And so far, we've only had a little teaser trailer, but so far, based on social media posts from the likes of Dan Stevens, doing the star signs, watch his space, we can decipher so much. And even what they've been filming out in the open, we could decipher there's going to be some unnamed mecha, potentially. Even Baby Godzilla could be deciphered from previous comments from Adam Wingard, because even though he's not attached to it because he's working on an A23 project, doesn't mean what he said is no longer gonna happen. So, if you recall, the King of Monsters director reveals there was a cut where the Mothra twins had a post-credit scene. Now, this is back from 2020, but there is a Screen Rant article that says this. So, if you remember in King of Monsters, we got a scene of the Severus head of King Ghidorah teasing a tease. However, this wasn't the only post-credit scene according to this article. The Mothra twins are two female fairies that often serve as a sort of liaison between Mothra and humanity. They made their theatrical debut back in the 60s film Mothra. While the twins didn't make a direct appearance in The King of the Monsters, the director has been vocal in the past about his admiration for these characters. There is even a small Easter egg reference to the Mothra twins in the finished version of the film, implying that Dr. Chan and her twin sister Dr. Luo are modernized versions of the Shubidget. So why am I talking about an article that came out 5 years ago? Well, this went on with the director. He literally revealed the sequence in an Instagram story and basically showed you what's going on. But why am I going on about it now? Because space, moon, something is coming. Are the Mothra twins sending warnings? So let's break it down. So we've just gone on about in the post-credit scene how potentially we were going to get a version of the Mothra twins appearing back in the 2019 Godzilla King of Monsters, right? But let's go one step further. So there was supposed to be an Easter egg of the twin daughter kneel before a new Mothra egg. Could we see the new pair of Mothra twins appear and warn of a new monster from space? Whether that be Warstu, whether it be SpaceGodzilla, whether that be Destroyer, whether it be Gargan, whether that be Bagan, God knows, it could be anywhere. It's not that far-fetched, to be honest, that we could get the Mothra twins appear in the film, just warning that SpaceGodzilla is on his way to Earth. Now, we do have some evidence, right? Matthew Modine posted an image that was deleted on his stories. A terrible space monster is now approaching the Earth. And he literally used two twins. Not only that, we've been playing the emoji game. So two twins, telephone, star, and a dinosaur. Is that saying Mothra twins, SpaceGodzilla, something to do with Who Ate the Star, and Godzilla? There is some signs that could hint towards this. Now, this is more of a theory, to be honest. But to be fair, even Matthew Modine, technically you could say one of the images posted is actually teasing Rodan, if you want to go that way. So whether we get the Mothra twins, it's neither here or there, but it's a potential. Also, side note, you may have realized or noticed that in my most recent Godzilla X Kong 3 video talking about SpaceGodzilla, yeah, I made a little bit of a mistake. Well, I didn't. So basically, I got flagged by a certain company and I had to trim out a bit, but it's trimmed out 8 minutes of the video. So apologies if you've watched that video. It was like 30 minutes long. I trimmed out a little bit because I lost a copyright claim and couldn't be bothered to counterclaim it because, yeah, it just takes so much effort. So yeah, that video is now being dwarfed. It was 12 minutes long and now it's 3 minutes long. Apologies, but that is the actual reason why. So although we know Godzilla is going to be key to this movie and it's going to focus on him and more, allegedly, we've had no confirmation, is Kong is going to have a strong part of the movie as well. Because even though Godzilla X Kong the Empire was predominantly a Kong story, Godzilla still had a story. So I came across this post on Reddit from someone called Titan Tracker, and it's titled, "Is King Kong's story just beginning?" And pretty much, I think it is. Kong may have reclaimed his throne and become the true great ape monarch of Hollow Earth, but his reign is only beginning, and the echoes of Scar King likely still ripple throughout the subterranean world. He's got a massive mess to clear up, and a critical question hangs in the air. Is every ape in the Hollow Earth truly willing to accept Kong as a ruler and submit. Okay, it didn't say this. I'm adding this and submit to Kong, because if Kong is the ruler, that means every ape isn't going to try to fight him in order to become king of Hollow Earth, if you like, in the sense of the great ape. So it goes on to say, I'm picturing the deeper uncharted territories of the hidden world far more treacherous than anything we've seen. The Scar King held a brutal grip on its inhabitants, keeping them in line through fear. Can Kong, with his different brand of leadership, truly keep the more dangerous undiscovered titans at bay? Will his compassion be a strength or a vulnerability in a world where only the strongest can survive? Will Kong face a power struggle from within Hollow Earth depths? What epic challenges do you envision, and what direction would you love to see the MonsterVerse take? So this is posted on the MonsterVerse subreddit by someone called Titan Dragger. Yeah, it's done pretty good. It's got some pretty good responses, and I think it's a pretty cool point, actually, because everyone keeps saying, yo, this is a Godzilla story, but it can't be, because it's Godzilla and Kong. So Kong is going to have some issues within Hollow Earth as well. As we know, Suku is like his adopted child, and some people that, I mean, there are some rumors saying Kong will die, but Kong is a moneymaker when it comes to merchandise, so Kong won't die. But I think it's a very, very interesting post, to be honest. So if you haven't, if I remember to put it down below, I will. I think Kong may have to have some fight for him to actually keep the title of King of Hollow Earth. Although I don't technically think he's allowed to be called King Kong because of copyright reasons. So we know a lot about this movie without knowing anything about it. We know Godzilla's going to be in it. We know Kong's going to be in it. We know, according to rumors, Mothra is going to step in again because Godzilla and Kong are going to fight again. There has been hints towards Rodan. There has been hints towards some unknown space monster, courtesy of my own ideas and sources that I listed in said videos. That sure, it could be SpaceGodzilla, could be Bagan, could be Biollante, could be Gigan, could literally be anyone. This space monster could be our own Godzilla evolving into a new form from Tiamat's layer with the solar energy like he did in the last monster. And we also know, based on plot leaks, that there's some unnamed mecha titan. Matthew Modine is very hinting. He's hinting that like he's going to become some anti-titan and get involved, because he looks like he's the big bad in terms of the human aspect. Baby Godzilla, Junior Godzilla has been hinted. So a lot is known about this movie without much being known about this movie. But I think this theory about Mothra twins returning to, you know, heed the signals that SpaceGodzilla or something from the but okay, maybe not multiverse. We're not going Marvel DC here. Is that, yeah, something potentially bigger could be on the way. I mean, I'm not really that on board with the Mothra twin. I mean, if it happens, it happens. We already know it exists in this universe. But an actor has kind of done the twin emojis, and someone did say Mothra please, and Grant the director say no comment but noted 48 weeks ago. So I mean, even if we don't get the Mothra twins, there are hints that Mothra will appear in this movie. We know that Mothra is a fan favorite. I don't even freaking know why. And there is obviously some gospel information going around about the stars again. And the moon. The moon makes Earth more livable, set the rhythm of the ocean tide, and keeps a record of our solar system history. Okay, there's been a few hints. And then in the Godzilla X Kong New Titans video game, and not really a video game, let's be honest, it's not PS5, wondering what's out there, and that Godzilla's looking at a moon. Is this all hinting towards something? Is it all hinting towards SpaceGodzilla? I don't know. But then I reached out to some people, and they did hear the moon would play a big part long before this information came out about Supernova. So I'm going to try to keep doing more videos based on Godzilla X Kong Supernova, aka Godzilla X Kong 3. Why? Well, because you lads know I absolutely love covering the MonsterVerse. It's just not the easiest thing to cover, because it's not as big as, say, DC or Marvel, in the sense that there is lots of leaks and stuff like that. So it's very few and far between. But I will try and do some theory-based videos. We know Matthew Modine kind of, you know, hashtag Godzilla versus SpaceGodzilla, then it got deleted. Is that control marketing? Is it active marketing? Most likely is active marketing. And as they are still filming on the sets of, obviously, Godzilla X Kong in Australia, we will get more information come out about certain characters that are appearing in said movie. Just today, we did get some casting information, but again, that doesn't really doesn't really tell us much, to be honest. And there's various sources who keep posting this kind of stuff, but we have two actors joining the set, Sammy and Victory, undisclosed roles. They're on IMDb, which doesn't really mean much. They're just listed as actors. Mr. Goju on Twitter, Mr_Goju54, posted this, and yeah, sure, we're going to get lots of casting announcements, but they're side characters with probably minimal screen time, seeing as most of the action sequences being filmed in the open seem to be linked to Matthew Modine and you know, the anti-Titan kind of organization, if you like. So maybe there might just be soldiers or something like that. But yeah, we'll get loads of new castings that will appear, but whether they actually are main cast is probably not going to happen, because usually the main cast gets confirmed before they start shooting, most of the case. So let me know, are the Mothra twins going to appear? We don't know. Who do you think it is? Bagan, Geigen. I say it wrong on purpose. Or it could be like Biollante. It could be like a made-up new SpaceGodzilla, like Shimo was kind of made up. Could be Destroyer. No, it's too early for Destroyer, but who knows? Who knows, lads? Could be Jet Jaguar. Could be War Drizzy. Could be Warstu. Could be an evil Kong. Who knows? Who freaking knows? But Matthew Modine posting a Godzilla versus SpaceGodzilla 1994 image on his stories pretty much sums up that SpaceGodzilla is going to appear in this movie. So like always, guys, I'll catch you kaiju fans in another video. Check us out on Instagram at Warstu. Check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. Check us out on TikTok, WWarstu. And yeah, I had to kind of trim down the other video because I got a copyright claim from the distributor, even though it's fair use, but I couldn't be bothered to fight it this time. Apologies. So like always, guys, I'll catch you in another video very soon, guys. Catch you later.